what's up? Been a while. Sorry about that. But just for a little update, what I've been doing in my spare time. Since the engine is taking so long at the machine shop for the Nova, I decided to go ahead and rewire it. Something that it's needed is all the factory wiring and all the wiring that whoever has owned this thing over the ages was just a big rat's nest hanging down out of from below the dash. I've gotten most of it out. The rest of it I'm going to tie up, but I'm nowhere near done yet. I'm in the middle of it, so things aren't the way they're going to be. We're going to make it a street and strip car. I don't know if I've already done somewhat of an update on it. I replaced the column, had the factory column in here. I replaced it just with a cheap one, no key. It's got blinkers, hazards, and tilt. That's it. Let's see. Put a panel in it that swings. It tucks up there, and that's where it'll stay. Dang carpet, I got it peeled back. It's holding it. So it tucks up there. My ignition box is on top of it, so I can get to the, if you can see that, I can get to the chips through the glove box. So kind of multi-purpose. It works. Let's see. Yeah, so just rewiring the whole thing, and the only way, the stipulation on me, the only way I would do it was if I got the ARC 8001, I think. Switches, not for those switches, but for the little relay panel that comes with it, because it's so small. If I were to make an 8-panel or an 8 relay panel, it would take up this whole thing. But that is so compact, that's the only way I would rewire this car, is if I had that. So I could rewire this whole car just off of this panel. It's with the nitrous controller, the leash board, you know, everything that I needed is right there. Rearrange the gauges. So before, I don't know if you noticed in other videos, right here was a bunch of switches. So I bought little black aluminum panels and cut it up to make it fit in there. Took 2 of the gauges from the roll bar over there and put them here and added one. So this one here is oil and water temp. That one is nitrous pressure, and that's air fuel ratio. I might be doing away with this digital nitrous pressure and go with a manual, because the sensors on those blow out real easy. I've gone through a lot of them on this car and I don't like it. So these other holes, that's where the gauges were, in that hole where the radio used to be, and then there used to be switches here. I'm just covering them in, and I'm going to put extra switches there. My purge button, my nitrous arm switch, halos, whatever else I got to put. Trans temp will probably stay over there. Not really much more to it. Everything else is pretty much going to stay. I'm going to keep the shifter like that, because I like when it's going down the track to have an electric shifter. And it's a 400 in there, so there's 2 shifts to make it easier. That's really not a whole lot more to it. I still have the mock-up motor in here. The exhaust is all built and done. I got the fuel system done. Whole new fuel system. I've got a secondary 1 gallon tank to go there, 1 or 2 gallon. But I'm thinking about doing what I did on the S10, is just getting a bigger pump and running it all off of 1 pump. It works great on the S10, but the only problem is that big, I'm not going to go as big as that pump. That's a MagnaFuel 500 on the S10. I don't need that much on here. This is going to be E85, but I think maybe a 300 would I'm gonna do some numbers and find out, do some research and see if, I mean, this thing at max is gonna have a 250 shot on it. It's gonna be stock block. So it's gonna have a 750 carb and at max a 250 shot, and that's on a controller. It's gonna have a 125 or 150 shot just on a button, so it'll have 2 plates on it. That's for the street. Kind of hard to set up a controller on the fly when you're, you know, wanting to play around or getting into a race on the street. So let's see, that's, oh, I rebuilt the front end, which it was already rebuilt. It had new components except for the control arms. I put new tubular control arms on it. That was before I started rewiring it. I might have done a video on that, I'm not sure. So transmission, I took it back to Sid Neal and had them make it to where I can leave on the trans brake in any gear. So first, second, third, I can leave on the trans brake. Let's see, what else? Yeah, there's the, I guess it's a 1 gallon. There's the little tank I've got set up for up there, if I use it. Then I'll be running 2 pumps. I've got the pumps, I've got everything, except if I go with a larger pump, I don't have that yet. But, alright, so it's going to be a video coming soon about the S10. Look out for it. We went to the track last night. That was Friday the 18th, I think. Went to the track, made a couple of passes, and wait to see how that turned out. Almost got my number, but you'll see that on the next video.